Every night, James Harden puts up an insane number of points in his games. And every night, you think that's going to be the end of his streak. But then the next night, he just goes up and throws up even more points. Last night, he got his career high of 61 points. And right now, between fans and just how he's playing, he is the MVP favorite. But we're going to test how good he actually is. How good is James Harden? How many Hardens does it take to win an NBA championship? So in order to find out how many James Hardens it takes to win an NBA championship, we're in NBA 2K19 right now in my league, and what we have done is taken the Houston Rockets, except I've gotten rid of everybody else but James Harden and replaced them with invisible, tiny 40 overall players that will have little to no impact on these games. So we're going to find out just how many Hardens it takes on a team to win a championship. We're going to start off with one, which I doubt he'll be able to win. I assume it's going to take at least 5, maybe, a full starting lineup of Hardens. Because just with 140 overall, that team can just expose that in your team and beat you, and Harden can't even play the full game anyways. But we're going to find out, and then we're going to go season by season. I'll show you the record each season until we actually start getting to playoffs and maybe even to that finals championships and win the finals. See how long that actually takes. But starting off, leave your comment down below on how many seasons you think it is going to take. Also, shout out to King Kobo 23. If you guys want a shout out in the next video, make sure to screenshot this video and send it over to me on Twitter. Tweet it at me at Smequle, and I will actually shout you out in my next video. So first season by James Harden all by himself did not go well at all. As you can see, he went 0-82, did not win a single game, but he does actually make it on the All-NBA first team, which is pretty good for only being him. Let's see what kind of stats he ends up putting up. So 30.9 points per game, not even quite as much as he's doing now, but I don't know, maybe it's just harder because the other teams don't have to worry about anybody else but him on the team. 18.7 rebounds, and he actually had 6.6 assists per game. So he was actually assisting these invisible players, getting some points right there. But one James Harden, not enough to win an NBA championship. In fact, not even enough to win a game. So we're going to up it to 2 and see how he does then. So yet again, we have another winless season by James Harden. 0-82 when we have 2 of him. He makes the All-NBA first team again, and he also makes the All-NBA second team. We're going to go over to standings right here. As you can see, I mean, he's in last place. 0-82. That is expected. Player stats. And check out the player stats. So 27.7 points per game and 26.8. So still putting up a lot of points. His assists are going up, and then his rebounds and points actually go down. So doing a little better. There was a few teams. He actually got within 5 points of the Charlotte Hornets, but not enough to even get a win yet. Let's see what happens with 3 Hardens. So finally, when we add 3 James Hardens, we start to get some wins on the board. 5 wins this season, beating the Kings, Hornets. The Hornets was a team they're really close to with just 2 James Hardens. The Knicks were beaten, and one other team, the Clippers. So no really amazing teams. I mean, the Clippers are pretty good, but other than that, pretty poor teams that they actually end up defeating. But 5 wins this season, so finally getting some wins on the board for James Harden. I don't think he'll win any awards there. Again, he is on the All-NBA first team. Not on the third team, but the other 2 of him are on the second team. So 3 James Hardens making the All-NBA teams. I assume the more Hardens we actually put on, the less that'll actually make those All-NBA teams. So here we go. Here's the stats for them. 25 points and then 23 apiece for the other 2 Hardens. Rebounds per game is pretty much the same, as well as assists. So these guys are getting pretty similar right now. The more we add, the closer their points are getting together, and it's kind of just the same Harden over and over again. Getting a few more wins this season. Let's move on to 4 Hardens. Okay, so adding the 4th Harden actually gave us a huge improvement, going from 5 wins to 27 wins in the season. All-NBA team, there's no Hardens. On the second team, there's actually still 2 James Hardens, though. And on the third team, we have yet another Harden. So still 3 Hardens actually making the All-NBA team, all but 1 actually making it on there. So that's pretty good. We're going to go over to standings now, see if they didn't come last. And yes, the Houston Rockets, not in last place this season. They are right ahead of the Phoenix Suns. And then over in the East, they're better than 2 teams here. So the Hardens are no longer the worst team anymore. We'll go back over to stats. Again, stats just go down in more the points per game scored, the more Hardens you use, because of course they're all going to want to score as well. But 4 Hardens, still not enough to even make playoffs, so it might take a few more here. So yet again, some big improvements here, adding another 11 wins, adding another James Harden. So up to 38 and 44. I don't know if this will be enough to make playoffs. Let's check out these all-NBA teams, and now we just don't have any Hardens on them because there's just too many. He's not making any of the all-NBA teams. Checking out the standings, though, the Rockets are out of playoff contention, but they're about 6 games off actually making it into playoffs. This is with 5 James Hardens, though, so I think a few more might actually be able to get them a lot higher. Maybe one more will get them in playoffs, and then maybe we need like 10 or 11 or 8 or 9 to actually get into a championship position. Let's actually find out right here, though. So that's 5 James Hardens. Of course, our stats going down even more here. They're averaging about 20 points per game. I assume when we get more, it'll even go down to like 15 for a higher point per game once we actually get this full rotation in. 5 James Hardens, still not enough, still no playoffs. Let's add on one more. Okay, so here we go. We're getting into the awards right here. 6th Man of the Year goes to James Harden. Or 6 Harden gets 6th Man. And check this out. The Rockets actually go 48 and 34 now with our 6 James Harden. So their first winning season with these guys. All NBA teams not going to make it on there anymore. But they do get the 5th seed in the West, which is very good. Let's check out the standings. So the Warriors are still 20 games ahead, but they're pretty close to a lot of these teams. They could actually beat a few of these teams consistently other than the Warriors, but they have beat the Warriors in the season with the 6 James Hardens. When we go over to season stats, okay, so it didn't go down too much for our starters here, around 20 points per game still. But let's see how the 6 James Hardens will do in the NBA playoffs. Starting off, Round 1 against the Denver Nuggets. It is all okay. The Rockets take a lead 2-1. It is all tied up 2-2. Can the Rockets win here? 3-2 for Denver. This might be all over. No, Rockets tie it up 3-3. And the Rockets are eliminated in game number 7. But finally, we have the Hardens making playoffs. 6 Hardens to make the NBA playoffs. Let's see how many more it takes to beat a first-round playoff team. And then, of course, we got the Warriors. Maybe 1 or 2 players might actually be able to do it. Okay, so yet again, James Harden is going to be our 6th man. And we do not get Coach of the Year. Rockets, with 7 James Hardens, Rockets end up going 58 and 24. Our best record so far. That's a really good record as well. No Hardens on the All-NBA teams. But they're going to get the 2nd seed in the West. And it's actually going to be OKC on top, Rockets, and then the Warriors. 1 more win, then the Warriors. So this actually might be a season where these 7 James Harden could win a NBA championship. Season stats. Check out everybody here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 James Hardens right there. The one with the least points per game, 14, all the way up to 18.3 points per game. But is this going to be the season the Rockets win an NBA championship? The Hardens, should I say. Unfortunately, they got to face the Warriors in the 2nd round, but it's going to be a nice 4-0 sweep in the 1st round. Warriors are actually looking kind of close to end up defeating the Pelicans. It would have been nice if the Pelicans lost and the Hardens actually faced, or the Warriors lost and the Hardens actually faced the Pelicans. Up into the 2nd round, though, Golden State gets game 1. Harden ties it up 2-1 for Golden State, 3-1 for Golden State, and Golden State defeats the Rockets. So 7 James Hardens, not quite enough to beat the Golden State Warriors. Let's see if the Warriors make the NBA championship, and they do, and they're going to go on to win as well. So 7 Harden is not enough. I feel like 8 is going to do it because that was super close. They actually got to the Warriors, but not able to beat them. The reason it takes a little longer too is because Harden can't cover every position. I mean, he can't cover those tall centers or anything, so it's going to be really hard for him to match up against a lot of these teams. And we got James Harden as our 6th man. I checked out the record, 67 and 15 for the Rockets And this is going to be with 8 James Hardens now. Let's just check out this roster. 8 James Hardens on the team. That is ridiculous. And finally, they get the first seed, I believe. I mean, they should have the first seed. 67 wins, getting that first seed. Almost breaking that 70-win season. But let's see what they can do in the NBA playoffs now. 17.8 points per game for our top. Harden up against Portland again in the first round. Harden was actually able to 4-0 them with just 7 of him. So 8-0 should be another sweep right here. And it is. So you're going to face in the second round. Don't have to face the Warriors until the Western Conference Finals, which is nice. It makes it a lot easier. Pelicans are up 2-0. There we go. Harden finally gets a game. 3-1 for the Pelicans. Are you kidding me? Okay, 3-2. And, okay, 3-3. It is all tied up. Can Harden beat the Pelicans? And he does. The comeback right there. He almost lost to the Pelicans. That would have been a little embarrassing. Let's simulate the other round. It's going to Toronto-Boston over there. And let's see if 8 Hardens can beat the Warriors. Warriors are up 3-0. There we go. Harden gets a game, and he's eliminated. The Warriors are just too good. It's really hard for Harden to beat them. Not able to do it that time. And let's... Oh, I do not want to play the game. Let's simulate the current round. Warriors are going to win the championship again. 8 Hardens, still not enough to beat the Warriors. Can 9 do it? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 James Hardens. Let's see what he can do here. So with the addition of another Harden, they actually managed to do worse. Harden still wins 6-man. And Coach of the Year, as no, that's going to Steve Kerr. The Warriors went 72-10, 58 wins for the 9 James Hardens. But they're the second seed in the playoffs. Let's see what they're going to do here. Up against the Spurs, they get a 2-0 lead. 2-1 against the Spurs. It's not looking too good for them. They should win right here, though. And no, okay, the Spurs get another game. Can they win now? There we go. Finally, the Rockets move on here. Up against OKC in the second round. It's a 2-0 lead for the Hardens. 3-1 lead now. OKC finally gets a game, and the Rockets are going to move on. The 9 James Hardens. Again, we got the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. Are the Rockets going to be able to do anything? It's tied 1-1, 2-1 now for the Rockets. 3-1 for the Rockets. And they actually finally beat the Golden State Warriors with 9 James Hardens. Now in the NBA Finals. But the Celtics have a 2-1 lead. Here we go. Rockets tie it up. 3-2 for the Celtics. And the Boston Celtics beat the 9 James Hardens. Are you kidding me? They finally beat the Warriors, and the Celtics are the team to take them down. 9 still not enough. We got to go to 10. I was not expecting it to take this many Hardens to do this, but I guess it's going to take 10 here. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 James Hardens. So yet again, I mean, Harden goes 64-18, but they haven't beat that record that they set when, I believe, what was it, 7 of them. They had 67 wins, but this time they're going to be first in the West. I guess we'll go check out season stats real quick here. 18.3 points per game, going to be the top Harden. We got 10 James Hardens here if he does not win this. I'm just going to press simulate current round, and he has got to move on, at least from the first round. He's up 3-2, and there we go. Finally, he beats the Clippers. That was a little closer than I expected. Up against the Jazz now. 1-1, all tied up here. 2-1 for the Jazz. 2-2, there we go, finally. Rockets take a lead, and can they win it right here? Yes, they do. Again in the Western Conference Finals. Up against the Warriors yet again. Are they able to do it yet again here? Up 2-0. I mean, I guess they just match up against the Warriors better, but the Warriors starting to come back here. 3-3 all tied up. And there we go. The Rockets move on. Harden, 10 Hardens defeat the Warriors. Up against the Raptors this time in the NBA Finals. Up 2-0, up 3-0. And James Harden gets the sweep, winning 122-110 against the Raptors in game number 4. A nice easy sweep right here. We have some invisible players on the court right now. We actually have 2. But as you can see, we got 10 James Hardens all on the bench. And then we got some on the court right now as well. And the final answer, how many James Hardens does it take to win an NBA championship? Well, it actually ended up taking 10 of them to win. If you guys want to see this with any other player, definitely leave a comment down below who you want to see next. That's going to be it for this video. MVP is, of course, going to go to James Harden. I mean, unless the invisible player got it. But if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. This has been your boy, Smequle, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Never in the same space that we started at. Throw the ball, I run the play like a quarterback. I've been up all night trying to make a stack, trying to get a plaque and flip a dream into a solid fact. Hustled hard for it. One day they will notice. Chasing in the day.